Welcome to my ULDUAR raid guide. My name is Antifragile, and in this video I'll show you Freya 25-man strategy. This boss can be killed either in normal mode or hard mode, and to initiate the fight in hard mode you need to leave 3 elders before encountering the boss. Although the 3 elders don't participate in the fight, they give buffs and additional skills to Freya, so all raid members should be aware of the skills. In normal mode, you need to kill necessary trash mobs to approach 3 elders and kill them before encountering Freya. Freya's fight is divided into 2 phases. During the first phase, there is no point in dealing heavy damage to Freya, since the boss has a stacked buff called Attuned to Nature that keeps the boss's health at 100%. The key to the first phase is to successfully overcome 6 stages by killing mobs that appear every 60 seconds, which decreases the boss's stacked buff to initiate the second phase. Before we look at 3 different types of mobs, Freya uses the following abilities. First skill is Sunbeam, which targets a random raid member by placing an orange spotlight inflicting nature damage to the target and those nearby, so you need to quickly move out from the area to avoid any damage. Second skill is ENG's gift, which is a tree that is spawned during the encounter that needs to be killed immediately as soon as you see it. If not, the tree uses Lifebinder's gift, which heals the boss and any mobs alive for 30% of their health. Third skill is Attuned to Nature, which was mentioned before, and with the use of Touch of ENG, there is no point in trying to deal heavy damage to the boss, since the boss's health will be topped up to 100%. When the encounter starts, the main tank needs to grab Freya to build aggro, while off tanks prepare to gain aggro when mobs appear every 60 seconds. Let's look at what mobs will appear during the first phase. First mob is Detonating Lasher, which is immune to aggro that uses Flame Lash to inflict fire damage equal to 150% of their melee damage and detonate itself when they die. So it is important that all raid members stack each other at pre-assigned spots to quickly AoE them down to 15% health. After 15%, all raid members need to spread out to avoid any damage from detonate, while mages use Frost Nova to freeze them to DPS them down, or hunters use Frost Trap to slow them down when others quickly nuke them. Second mob is Ancient Conservator, which looks very similar to Elders that uses Conservator's grip, preventing raid members from attacking and casting spells. Fortunately, mushrooms will spawn nearby that cast potent pheromones that removes this debuff. So, all raid members must go under the mushroom to benefit from this skill to quickly kill the mob. Furthermore, the mob uses Nature's Fury on random raid member, so the target needs to move away from the raid to avoid inflicting nature damage to anyone nearby while staying under the mushroom to remove Conservator's grip debuff. For paladins, if you couldn't go under the mushroom, then you can use Aura Mastery to go through this phase. Third mob is the trio, which is a combination of a water spirit and lashes. The trio needs to be killed at the same time, so melees and casters need to check 3 mobs' health and assign off tanks to which mobs to mark in advance to avoid any confusion. Water Spirit uses Tidal Wave that pushes any enemies in front up to 40 yards, so the off tank needs to position this mob away from the raid to ensure that no one gets pushed back. Storm Lasher uses Storm Bolt on the tank, which can be healed through, and Lightning Lash that inflicts heavy nature damage up to 3 targets, so you need to interrupt this spell. The last mob is Snap Lasher that stacks hardened bark when it takes damage, and when stacked too much, it would inflict nearby enemies with AoE damage. So it is important that the off tank pull this mob from the raid, while others check the number of stacks the mob already has and stop when it reaches 50. The melees and casters can target other mobs while the stack wears out and then deal damage again. Now you know what trio is capable of, so take caution when handling them, including other 2 mobs mentioned previously to overcome 6 stages to face the last phase. Second phase is quite straightforward compared to the first one, so you can nuke the boss down using Bloodlust and cooldowns, but you need to stay alert to Freya's additional skill, which is Nature Bomb that is summoned underground that inflicts heavy nature damage to anyone within 10 yards and knocking them back. For hard mode, 3 elders does not take part in the encounter but gives buffs and skills to Freya, which increases the difficulty level quite a bit. 15 years ago, Freya's hard mode was all healers' worst nightmare due to heavy raid damage done to the raid. Let's look at what 3 elders gives to Freya. Out of the 3 skills, you need to take extra attention to Ground Tremor that deals heavy physical damage to all enemies and interrupting any spells being cast for 8 seconds. The damage can be healed through heal darts, power shield, health stone, and bandages where necessary, but 8-second silence is deadly for the raid, so when you see the skill being used, everyone must stop what they're doing and then carry on after the skill has landed. It is ideal for the raid to pre-assign Divine Sacrifice or Guardian with bubble to lower the death rate from this. Other than this, you need to move when there's unstable energy near you. If iron rooted, you need to quickly kill it to release yourself. Finally, the nature bomb is very deadly in hard mode, so you need to use the river to guide your raid when to move to the other side when the nature bomb is spawned on the ground, and rinse and repeat. The remaining encounter is like normal mode, so just make sure that you act accordingly and try to avoid yourself from inflicted with unnecessary damage.